today I'd like to talk a bit more about how eating raw foods has changed me, because I don't feel like I said enough in my previous video about how it makes you feel more inspired. Because I've found after 5 years eating this way that raw plant foods, more than any other type of food, will just give you an amazing sense of self-belief. And I don't just mean, oh, I had a salad, I feel good. I mean that when I started eating raw foods, I felt emotions I hadn't felt since I was a child, like when the world was a colourful and magical place. And self-defeating thoughts like I can't and I'm not good enough are replaced with I am good enough and I can realise my vision. So a clean diet manifests inspiration and a desire to accomplish your goals. Now that might sound obvious, but I really don't think the majority of people realise how directly our food choices influence how we feel. The fact is that most people just shovel whatever shit into their mouth without thinking of the resulting emotions. Because I have to wonder how many people in the world who hate their job, hate their partner, or are just fed up with life in general, know that it could just be their food choices and not these external causes that's bringing them down. Like if I ever get depressed, the first thing I'll ask is, okay, what have I been eating? And most of the time I can lift myself back up by eating better. Again, that might sound obvious, but how many manic depressives in the world know that being joyful again could just be a case of adding or removing certain foods? Basically, when I eat raw, my sort of default emotional state becomes one of inspiration and optimism. And this ties in with law of attraction. It's a very simple case of, if you eat good, you're going to feel good. And feeling good will attract more good feelings. Inspiration, passion, joy, etc. Also, the bridge between my higher self and waking self really seems to diminish. Intuitive guidance comes much more clearer and I just know what I've got to be doing. Junk food, on the other hand, all that fatigue and brain fog makes us deaf to our higher guidance. But when you wash all that shit out of your body, you become much more perceptive of the clues that life is giving you as to what you should be doing. It's like constant synchronicity. And there's a lot of talk about an awakening movement right now. Like, oh, I read a David Icke book, I'm awake. Well, knowing how food can expand or suppress our perceptions is a big part of that. It's also taught me a great deal about mucus build-up in the body. Because I've found that any foods that aren't plant-based will generally leave a mucusy residue throughout my body. Like, just observe how your mouth feels after a piece of chocolate. It's that thick syrupy residue that over time builds up throughout our digestive tracts, and that's why we get colds. Because this mucus builds up and the body has to expel it. But unrefined plant foods tend not to leave this mucus, and that's why long-time raw fooders say that they rarely get sick. Like for me, it's very rare that I get sick, and that's down to eating a non-mucus forming diet. And this was the basis of Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet book. I mean, this guy was saying in the 1920s that if you want to be free of sickness, eat a plant-based diet. So if you believe you've got great things to accomplish in life, cleaning up your diet will be a massive help in bringing your vision into manifestation. Because like I say, it's just constant synchronicity. And I can't recommend David Wolfe's Sun Food Diet book enough. It really is a classic in terms of linking food with self-improvement. It also tends to free up energetic blockages within the body. And this goes into traditional Chinese medicine, which states that all illness is first caused by blockages within our meridian system, which are the body's energy channels. And that being healthy requires that our energy runs unimpeded through these meridians. This is the basis of acupuncture, acupressure, and the basis of mind-body systems like yoga and Tai Chi. And generally, working on an energy blockage, which is really just an area of tension in the body, is usually going to involve some kind of physio to try and loosen it, be that a stretch or postural adjustment, which are very direct processes. But I've found that eating raw will work tension out of your body naturally. It'll sort of happen in the background. So raw foods basically help wash away emotional baggage without you having to do any work. And on a physical level, it does for the body what bleach does for your sink. It washes away all the years of mucus and arterial plaque. We can see in Colin Campbell's China study book that plant foods will literally open up clogged arteries. There really is no greater medicine or destroyer of health than food. Now, how many hospitals treat people with food? Also, if you see my Beat Cancer with Diet video in the description, it's pretty clear that, although there's no official cancer cure, a diet high in plant foods is the closest thing we do have based off study after study. So I'm not just some random guy who thinks he knows more than the entire medical system. These studies come from the institutions themselves, they're just not putting it into practice. I mean, if green vegetables have been shown to treat cancer, every cancer patient by default should be drip-fed green vegetable juice. That's how Max Gerson was treating cancer. But all the major illnesses really have their origin in the consumption of unnatural substances, be that food or toxins in the air or whatever. And a plant-based diet is basically the antithesis to that. It's a case of, the further mankind has strayed from nature, the more sick and insane we've become. So we've got to get back into living naturally. Now what does that mean? Well, you've got to get the fundamentals in place. Without the fundamentals, those vitamin C pills won't do a thing. Also, we all like looking attractive. I look in the mirror each morning like everyone else, and I want to look good for the day. Well, nothing will do more for your appearance than eating raw. Any spots or blemishes or skin issues will over time diminish. Because don't forget, the skin is an eliminative organ. So the more shit you eat, the more that's going to seep through your pores and make you look all puffy faced and blotchy. Well, you don't get that eating raw, your skin will look better than it's ever done. And just consider that most cosmetics are made from plant-based extracts. Well, just go for the real thing. Like if you want the skin benefits of cucumber, instead of putting a few slices on your eyes, just juice a whole cucumber up and drink it down. Let those minerals work from the inside out, because that'll develop true radiance, instead of the superficial bullshit that most women fall for. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just wiping bird shit on my face. It's good for the skin, you see. Really. Seriously, if women knew they could look their best eating a clean diet, the cosmetic industry would fall. Just check out Mimi Kirk. 74 years old, puts her looks down to drinking green juice. Now, am I saying to give up eating cheeseburgers and start eating salads? No, I'm not. You won't like that, and neither will your body. It's got to be a transitional thing. But I do recommend getting onto green smoothies ASAP. Here's how simple they are. So you want to put the greens in first, like so. Then you put the bananas in, like so. And then blend it up. And it's as simple as that. A smoothie like that will teach you the difference between the acid and alkaline content of your foods. Acid being where the stress and sickness is, and alkaline being where the health is. Because once the alkalinity hits you from all the greens, it's like the best, purest drug you can imagine, and you will feel like a child again. Smoothies alone are enough to get amazing health benefits, even if you eat junk the rest of the time. And a good place to start is with Victoria Botenko's Green Smoothie books. Green smoothies are just excellent at bringing you back into a state of equilibrium. It's that calming, alkalising effect of greens, which most people aren't aware of because they don't eat greens. But smoothies are a medicine for a lifetime, no question. And a decent blender will cost you about £10. So yeah, ultimately, eating raw is about learning to feed the body and not just the taste buds. Because natural whole foods is feeding the body. Crisps and Coca-Cola is feeding the taste buds. Once you learn to feed the body and not the taste buds, then you're making progress. Because that's what gets you off the fucking chemical addictions and onto the idea of eating to fuel your body to help manifest your goals, instead of eating because you're bored and needing a fucking chemical stimulant. So yeah, just thought I'd do another preachy raw food video, because 5 years on this path now and the benefits just keep on coming. As always, see the description for some more info I couldn't quite fit in, and thanks for watching.